Hello everybody, tonight I'm going to provide you a cast from the Classic Cup. I'm going to provide you a cast against Team Thin versus Team Revival Blue. Quite a last minute cast actually, wasn't expected to cast this. So we're going to have a quick look at the rules as usual. So for the rule, we have 2 new maps every week in this Classic Cup. The matches are played still 7 points. The match winner is the one with the most amount of points during the whole match. This is decided in case of equal points. And the top 2 teams of each group goes to playoff. Nice. So yeah, I wasn't really expecting to cast this tonight, but we're doing so. As the players are warming up, we have to be in a bit of a hurry actually. So we're going to look at the map. Is TMT Scala by Mikkel Elo. The water record is a 38.77 by Narcor. And I think we're going to go live pretty soon. Even after this warm-up, the GLHF are being thrown. Let's get a quick look at the deaders. Looks like we don't have any players on the match in the deaders apart from Will at Daddy24 with a time of 38.95. And the warm-ups are over and we are ready to go live for this Classic Cup match. As we are following Will into this first corner, we have a mistake from Sepset from Team Revival Blue so far. Tasty Snack, Will and Oxygen fighting out with Revival Blue. Tibo and Zig didn't freeze in the lineup, so we have for Team Feint Tasty Snack, Oxygen, Will. And for Team Revival Blue, we'll have Sepset, Tibo, and Zig as Oxygen make a mistake here. Tasty Snack, Will in the lead. This is looking good so far from Feint. Tibo, they're catching up to Will. Can Tibo take the second place? And so far he got the second place, but Will was sniping to the end and will keep a second place. And this will be a point for Team Feint. 1-0 so far with this first round, which goes to Team Feint. Strong players for Feint with Tasty, Will and Oxygen, a very strong lineup. But Team Revival Blue also has good players. As we are following Tibo in this second round so far. Zek with a no start on this first corner. Will lose a lot of time and will leave Sepset and Tibo alone to fight out with Feint. So far, Will and Tasty in a very privileged position to take this point. As Oxygen dropped out a little bit, never mind, it didn't. Still in the third post so far, this is looking very good for Feint. Oxygen getting a bit of a bump on the Rammstein and losing a lot of speed. This will allow for Tibo and Sepset to pass him. Will into this first place, Oxygen last place, but it doesn't matter, it's just Tasty had the second place, and this is looking to be another point for Team Feint. As Tibo, Sepset and Zig made a few mistakes as well, I think. Yeah, Zig crashing early into the start wasn't happening for sure. As we go live into this third round of the match. Coming up to this very first corner, we have many different approaches actually on this corner. A couple people are going wide, a couple people are going tighter as well. Tibo is emerging in the lead. Tasty getting a start here. Tibo is in the first place, fighting out with Will and his teammate Sepset. This is looking good for Revival Blue actually right now. Let's get Tasty is a bit far behind. Oxygen is trying to wait for a mistake from Sepset or Tibo. Will into the lead though. Oxygen might have to try to get the third place here. But this is not but Sepset getting the no start in the end, and Tibo they're almost passing Will as well. But this will be a point for Team Feint. Kind of sad that Sepset got another start here in the end. Could have been maybe a point for Team Revival Blue. But Feint can get a bigger lead out of this with a 3-0 score so far. Going on in the fourth round, Tibo making a mistake in the early start already. This is not very good for Team Revival Blue, as they really don't need these mistakes. Because Feint is probably the quicker team here, as we can see so far. Will and Tasty, Oxygen into the top 3. Sepset is trying to fall a little bit behind. It will actually overtake Tasty after a small mistake from the player. Sepset looking actually good so far. I think Tibo made a mistake in the start, yeah, and Zig as well. Oh, I think Zig made another mistake. Tasty in the fourth place, but this is not very important as it's but Will make a mistake in the end, but this won't very change anything. as the Feint players are keeping the top 2 spots. (4-0) for Team Feint, extending the lead. But the match is not over yet. Team Revival Blue can still get into this match and make the difference still. Following Tasty in this early round, I think we've seen a mistake from Zik again, dropping up a little bit. And I think another player from Team Revival Blue made a mistake. Yeah, it was T-Bow. Zepset, the only Revival Blue player in the lead, finding out with the Team Feint players. Even though he gets first place, he needs his teammates to climb back a little bit the ladder, otherwise it's going to be used as T-Bow made another mistake. Zepset into the lid still, and Zik is a bit far behind to do anything. And so Zepset also getting a no sign in the end, so this will be even an ace for Team Feint. Zepset was kind of putting a good fight into the end, but sadly crashed out. As this is going to be the 5th point for Team Feint. Looking good so far to get the first map in the pocket. Very tricky first corner, left-hander, and T-Bow making a mistake again. Zik and Zepset are now left alone to fight out the Team Feint players. Willy emerging in the lead again. Zepset in 2nd place. Oxygen and Tasty following behind. Zik making another mistake and then getting passed by T-Bow. Zepset going a bit wide here on this left-hander with the ram shot on the inside. Even getting overtaken by Tasty, but not be for long actually as he gets back into 2nd place, but this won't pretty much change anything as his teammates are kind of far away. Will getting the 1st place with time of 39.13, decent time. Enough to secure the point for Team Feint. And 6-0 for Team Feint. We're now getting in what could be the last round of the match. Last round of the map, sorry. Zik making a mistake once again. This is not looking good for Team Revival Blue as Willy and Tasty are able to take an early lead though. T-Bow and Zepset though can provide a fight. I think we've lost Oxygen. Yeah, Oxygen dropping off behind a little bit as well. So now this is up to T-Bow and Zepset to fight with Tasty and Willy. Very decided corner here. Oh, and Willy getting a better ram. T-Bow going a little bit wide and Zepset not getting the best line as well. Willy and Tasty still in the lead. This is not looking great for Team Revival Blue. And this is looking to be a GG for Team Feint within their first attempt. And this is going to be GG. 7-0 on the first map for Team Feint against Revival Blue. Feint went Imperial on this. And we have seen a complete domination almost. Not much they could do. Tell Will he's a pro. Apparently you're a pro, Will. Coming from. Alright, we're moving now on the 2nd map. As the players are going to have 2 warm-ups, I guess. So we're just going to look quickly at the map. It is ESL Repeat by TI with a world record of 52.37 by Nycore from Team 3.5 Men. So, a quite tough map, to say the least. Oh, it's VOD, alright. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I was talking about the map. So, quite tricky map with a very complicated mid part. You can easily crash into the mid part as well. And also they start being very tricky. Thank you McGowan for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, because as we can see, pretty tricky part here. You can pretty much bug all the time here if you take the wrong line. It's going to be interesting to watch. Will's name actually William. I know. Don't worry. I was his teammate before. Thank you, Vought, for the follow. So, last round of the warm-up. Last warm-up, then we should be going live. I think the players are remaining the same for the both teams. Still have Tasty, Oxygen, and Will for Team Faint. And we have Sep, T-Bow, and Zig for Revival Blue. Thank you, Arden, for following. So let's hope on this map that maybe Team Revival Blue can provide a better fight than they did on the first map. I mean, they got 7-0 on the first map, so this is a bit sad to see. Hope they will perform better in this one, I guess. I mean, technically there should be more room for mistakes and all that stuff. So we should maybe have a little bit more of an interesting match there. As the first match was was a complete no match. Alright, the warm-up are over, deals are being thrown, and we're ready to go live. No lineup changes, same lineups, and we're going live on ESL repeat. Following Will here into this first round. Very tricky start, easy to make a mistake here. Will gathering a lot of speed. We're just good to be a little bit behind. I think Zig is behind a little bit. Team Finn taking the upper hand again, once again. Will and Zepset in the top 2 spots though. Tasty is second over the second place. Oxygen is into the mix though. Very tricky corner to the right here with a lower gear. Oxygen making kind of mistakes there. Losing a lot of time. Will and Tasty in the lead. Looking good for Feint so far. T-Bow into the 3rd place. Zepset in 4th place. Oxygen making another mistake. This will allow Zig to get to 5th place. So clipping the wall, but it's not very important as Feint I think will have an easy round here with the top 2. Despite Oxygen crashing. But don't look at the deadest, but alright. So we have Tasty at top 16 with a 52.66 and Will at top 22 with a 52.69. So with the times I guess they have the hop on again. So 1-0 for Team Feint. Looking good for them once again. So far no real mistakes from any players. Oxygen getting a little bomb though. Sick a bit behind again in the start. Still in the pack that. Well. Oxygen, Tasty and Wooly emerging into the lead. Pretty close so far though. T-Bow is able to fight up a little bit. Also Zepset is. Wooly with a bad line here. Won't gather a lot of speed. Zepset and T-Bow into 2nd and the 3rd place. Looking good for them so far, but Oxygen comes back into the round. Willy is still able to provide a fight. Tasty is probably nowhere to be challenged. Will probably take this 1st place quite easily. But T-Bow and Zepset though, still in 2nd and 3rd place. That could make the difference there. Or Willy with maybe more speed than Oxygen. Or an Oxygen and Willy actually sniping T-Bow on the end. So a double snipe here. But a good time by Tasty, 52.98. Enough to get the round for Team Feint. With this double snipe in the end from Will and Oxygen. No mistakes so far into this 3rd round. Zig dropping up a bit in the beginning of the round as usual. Oxygen though with a bad line here. Quickly overtaking Zig back though. Will get overtaken again and Zig making a mistake here. Very tricky part here. Nothing surprising that we see players make a mistake here. Would have quite bad line here. Won't have as much speed as Tasty and Zepset. T-Bow I think made a mistake as well, as he's not really in the pack anymore. Oxygen probably made some kind of a mistake as well. So far it's Tasty and Will into the 1st and 2nd place. Once again this is looking good to be another point for Feint, as they've already won the match since they've scored I think 9 points. Yeah, 9 points enough to win the match. Despite Zepset taking 3rd place, this won't change anything as T-Bow clips the finish. 3-0 for Feint. Looking better and better. The gap is increasing and the chances of Team Revival Blue to get a single point are fading away quickly. So far no mistakes after these two corners. Zig for the first time actually being in the lead here. Will drop off a little bit though. Very close pack from everyone. Very good round so far. Everyone is packed. Tasty Oxygen into this first and second place. Upset fighting up with them. Will getting another start here. Will crash. Oh, Oxygen with a 1 kill on here as well. Zepset taking the lead. T-Boy's into third place. This is looking good so far for Team Revival Blue. Tasty that will climb back and get the first place once again. But Zepset, oh, but Tasty getting a little bit of a bump here. Will lose a lot of time and Zepset, that will allow Zepset to come back. Zepset and T-Boy fighting up with Tasty. Tasty that will get back this first place. I'm not sure if it's going to be a point for... I'm not sure. Still a point for Feint. Yeah, another point for Feint actually. Despite the good fight with Tasty from Zepset and T-Boy. Nice casting actually. Thank you. 4-0 for Team Feint. Revival Blue here had a good chance to get a point, but sadly chances are fading away. Zig dropping off in the start, Willie clipping the wall here. Tasty and Oxygen is the first and second place on this left-hander. I think we've seen another mistake from T-Boy. Yeah, it was T-Boy. And now Zepset is the only one to fight with T-Boy off Feint. Oh, Oxygen almost getting a bump here. Not much to say so far as Tasty and Oxygen are in the lead. Zepset though is climbing up a bit. Oh, Oxygen was a bad line here. Oxygen is actually struggling for this part of the map. Probably one of the most trickiest parts of the map, so we can understand this. Zepset though is not very able to climb a bit on the ladder and will stay into third place so far. Whatever happens behind, oh, and Zepset is crashing into the water again, so this won't change anything and this will be another round for Feint. T-Boy doing some stunts. Lovely. 5-0. 2 more points to get for Team Feint and the match will be over. It looks like Team Revival Blue is not really able to provide a fight despite the map. Sick dropping off behind as usual, sadly. Tasty here clipping the CP and will lose a lot of time, pretty much out of the round. Oxygen and Wildo are securing the 2 first spots, so no matter, it doesn't matter. And Tasty crashed if they keep it like this. Willy with a very bad line here and everyone will overtake him actually. Sick, T-Boy and Zepset. T-Boy is actually getting a lead and I think Oxygen made a mistake. Oh, and so far the 3 revivable players are into the lead and this is looking good. Oh, but I think T-Boy made a mistake and forced topic, so we have Zik and Zepset, but Zik gets overtaken. If Zepset keeps the lead though, it should be a point for Team Revival Blue. Despite Zik losing the 2nd place. I think this is a point for Team Revival Blue. And yes, they're getting the first point into the match. After quite a weird round, many mistakes, but they are getting the first map, the first round. 5-1, finally a point for Team Revival Blue. Not feel good to score the first point. Maybe they can actually score more. We'll get to see it. Although Zik and Zepset are dropping off a little bit behind on the start. Willy clipping the CP here. We'll lose our time. Zepset and Zik will overtake him back. T-Boy fighting with Oxygen and Tasty. Zik clipping the border here, almost flying out of the track. Oxygen and Tasty into the 1st, 2nd place, and T-Boy is actually clipping the wall, so this is not looking good so far for Revival Blue. Once again, looks like Fenty is back in business to take the 6th point of the match. Zepset also clipping the wall again, and this will be no doubt, if they make no mistakes, a point for Feint. Coming to the last corner, last straight before the finish. 52.92 for Oxygen, which is more than enough to secure the round. Zepset coming up into the last place and 6-1 on this map. Feint doing a good job despite losing one round. They've pretty much dominated their opponents, so they've been going good. Zik dropping off a bit behind again and clipping the wall actually, so this is over for Zik pretty much. Tibo a bit behind as well. Feint players having the lead again. Getting used to this configuration. Woody with a bad line here. Zepset and Tibo will catch back. Oxygen with a bad line as well here. Tibo is getting to the second place. They're fighting with Oxygen and Tibo is clipping the wall, and so far we have the 3 Feint players into the lead. So if they make no mistakes, they have plenty of room to get the 7 points, and this will mean the match will be over. As Oxygen is clipping the wall, but if Feint gets top 2, shouldn't change anything. Tibo not even catching up to Oxygen, and Zepset neither. And Zik is too far behind. And this is looking to be the final point, the final round for Team Feint, as the match is over. 7-1 on the second map. Sadly, Revival Blue couldn't really provide a fight against Feint, as it was expected, I guess, because Revival Blue are a bunch of United players and Feint are starting players, so we expected this kinda. But yeah. So we're done with this match. 14-1 for Team Feint. GG's to Team Feint. GG's to Team Revival Blue as well. Good try. Alright, so I think we should be done for casting so far. I think I'll see you maybe tomorrow for another cast. I mean, I wasn't supposed to cast this match, but I did. So yeah, it was quite unexpected. I wasn't prepared for this. So it was cool. Hope you enjoyed the cast and see you tomorrow probably. Goodbye.